In the First Avenger, Steve Rogers, through circumstances, enlists in the United States Armed Forces and helps the Allies fight against the Nazis and Hydra as Captain America. As a result, from the efforts of the Allies and due to the Captain's sacrifice, the Allies were able to stop the Red Skull, leading a combined Hydra and Nazi force from conquering Europe. But the speculative scenario is this. Could the Second World War depicted in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have ended sooner? From information now known, details harder that the circumstances had a time from when Steve Rogers was imbued with the super soldier serum to him fighting in the war, and was later presumed dead in a last-stand fight against the Red Skull nearing the war's end. However, theories and speculations had it that what Cap did after he had gone into Europe to when he fought against the Red Skull, this was a particular time frame. Through in the original phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there were no real technical calculations as to what Captain America did. Technically, there are some sorts of information. An interesting theory had it that if the tour were to have not been held and Captain America were to have been immediately sent off to fight in Europe, that as a result of a super soldier helping Allied forces against the Axis powers might have resulted in the war ending sooner than the time it actually did end. There were statements made by Steve, Bucky, and even Peggy that this could have saved time and effort, with an Allied push against the Axis might have resulted in an Allied victory earlier. However, with everything that had occurred, the statements on theory were eventually forgotten, but the concept of it was interesting. The tour was conceived of and implemented to stir patriotic emotions across different American cities, and to give speeches to crowds, warning against the dangers of fascism and the threat that the Nazis posed to Europe. This was also implemented to turn public opinions against the increasing threat posed by the Hydra forces in Europe, as well as to promote the image of Captain America, the very face of the American military in the Second World War. Due to how travel and communications were at the time, the tour took months to do, and the tour moved from city to city, and Cap's speeches were heard by more and more people. Eventually, popular opinion favored him, as well as the Allied forces against the Nazi/Hydra threat in Europe. But as a result of the war, it later became one of the most publicized incidents in the United States to educate the public as to what was occurring in Europe. When Ant-Man first met Captain America, he mentioned the tour and its significance. The tour itself later became the main reason why the Captain was so well known in the United States, and so endearing because of what he had did during the tour. The tour helped to spread the message that the war needed to be stopped. If, hypothetically, the Captain were to have been sent to Europe soon after he had become a super soldier as he originally wanted, the war could have been in theory won sooner, due to the advances that the Allies could have done led by the Captain across Europe. But there would have been no popular opinion of Steve Rogers, and as a result, sentiment might have been different due in part to not having popular opinion or national awareness on his side as a result of the tour. Some have even theorized that the tour was important because, as mentioned, it promoted the ideas of peace and patriotism, rather than aggression, hate, on fascism. If the Captain had just gone to Europe and led an attack against the Red Skull, it would have been one strong man against another strong man, and perhaps popular opinion might have been with neither. So in some instances, the tour was more important than anyone had ever realized, and that it was that important to the victory in Europe or even Asia regarding the Second World War.